Good morning. We are now at the Thursday of Budget Week, and what do we know about the budget handed down by the Morrison-Joyce government on Tuesday night? It, as almost everyone has said, is a budget that is directed more towards keeping their jobs than it is to engaging in any medium to long-term important, necessary structural reform and investment to make the lives of working Australians better. We saw a budget that, as predicted by Jim Chalmers, is best described as a SPAC filler budget, with bits and pieces thrown around here and there in the hope that after 9 long years, Australians might somehow be fooled that all of a sudden there's a Morrison-Joyce government that understands what increasing costs of living really mean, that has put any long-term thought into how to address it, that it's a Morrison-Joyce government that cares about a better future for Australians. But we know, just a day and a half really after that budget was handed down, that Australians aren't fooled. Because who has been left out? Who has been ignored in this budget? It's people who care deeply about climate change, that care about the jobs that come from renewable energy, from that sector, which is so important to a better climate future and a better economic future for all Australians. It's working parents who, even this morning, are thinking, can I send my child to childcare today? Or does that mean that the wage which I earn, which has been stagnant for so long and is now going backwards in real terms under this government, will be decimated by the childcare fees? Nothing in this budget to help people who need to send their children to childcare so that they can get all of the benefits of work, the financial benefits and the benefits to them as a person who is contributing to their community and feels that they have worth as someone who works. It's good for men, it's good for women, it's good for children. Under Labor, 97% of families will be better off and have cheaper childcare, but under this government, they've been ignored. And what we're hearing now from the Minister for Women's Economic Security is that apparently Australian men and women are supposed to be grateful that she's changed some terminology, as opposed to looking at their inadequate PPL package and saying yet again they've been left off. Who else has been left out of this budget? The arts and entertainment sector, because apparently this government doesn't care about Australian culture. It doesn't care about Australian voices and faces and stories. It doesn't care about a future where we show the world who we are and we remind ourselves who we are through our arts and entertainment industry. And apparently it doesn't care about that really important industry across Australia. So not only have they been left out, they've faced more cuts at a time when they are just struggling to get through the impacts of COVID. Who else has been left out? Well, the whole state of Victoria, this so-called infrastructure budget, just leaves us behind, because we might have a treasurer who's from Victoria, but he's not for Victoria. And there has not been a single mention of infrastructure funding in my electorate of Dunkley. None of the projects that we have been pushing for and lobbying for years, from the sporting projects at Emil Marsden and Frankston Basketball, to the project of increasing our access to GPs and healthcare, none of those have been mentioned for people in Dunkley, because this government just doesn't care about the things that matter to everyday people. What we will hear tonight from the Leader of the Opposition is a budget reply speech that isn't about his job or my job or Labor caucus members' jobs. It's about a better future for the people that we have come here to represent. It's about a better future for the country that we all know and love. That's why we seek to have an Anthony Albanese Labor government, for the sake of our communities and our country, as opposed to the Morrison-Joyce government, which is all about protecting themselves.